I'm going to critique and score this property based on my 10 principles of quality. So if you decide to buy, remodel, or purchase your own property, you will know how to critique the property yourself and score it so you don't make a mistake. I'm Arvin Haddad. I'm the How to Buy a Mansion guy. Let's critique and score this property together.
Buongiorno e benvenuti. I'm Stephanie Smith from Liner Luxury Real Estate, and I'm here today to show you this exclusive villa with private beach access for sale in Sardinia. Check it out.
This is not her first video on my channel. If you're a subscriber, you've seen the 𝗖𝗹𝗹 como video. Great video. Subscribe right now. Her name is Stephanie, but I call her Check It Out because that's her thing. You know how Ennis says cantilever? Her thing is check it out. It's like one word. Check it out.
So let's go check it out. Today we are in Sardinia, specifically in 𝗕𝗂𝗃𝗵𝗴, which is in the northern part of the island.
Okay, the location is a 7.5, I would say. It's definitely on the north side. That's where you want to be in Sardinia.
And thanks to the rocky formation of the island, it has the most beautiful crystal clear waters.
Not quite. Look, thanks to slightly more beige sand, it has more of a greener tone than the crystal clear water that you will see closer to Porto Cervo, which is the most expensive area in Sardinia. It's one of the reasons why it's getting a 7.5. Now, if you want to know what these scores are based off, I have a 5-day workshop, link in the description. I'll tell you guys more about it later.
Becoming a snorkeler's paradise.
Do you see what I'm saying? I personally like this color, you know, nothing against it. But as far as like the beach quality goes, people are signing up for Sardinia. They're going for that kind of bluish color beaches that you would see in, let's say, Bahamas or Punta Cana, right? Which is very rare to have that clear water in the Mediterranean. It says probably Sardinia and Corsica. North of Sardinia and south of Corsica have the most clear water blue beaches in all of Mediterranean.
We are now walking through the property's perfectly trimmed garden, which extends for 1.63 hectares.
That's a lot. That's what, like, I think 4 acres, right? Each hectare is like 2.5 acres, I think. It's a very compound vibe, but there's not that many flat spots, but again, it's not sloped so bad. It's actually kind of rolling hills, I would say, with pockets of grass. And it's a very storytelling setting, actually. I think it's really beautiful. It kind of draws you in to kind of discover different parts of the land. So it's a lot of land. And it's definitely on a promontory. It's just the actual flat area right next to the house is not that big.
To my right is an external dining area. I love how the external oven is built in to the rock formation, becoming part of nature.
That's the oven? Stephanie, come on. This looks like a place where you would put like your uncle's ashes. Are we going to cook there? Okay, if you say so, Stephanie.
Here you can enjoy your al fresco meals with your friends and family, surrounded by the privacy of your own home.
Okay, let's talk about outdoor dining. I think one of the things that I've personally experienced in ultra luxury property recently, I was invited, the separation of the dining table from the main house. The property was so large that it was so far away from the main house that it really felt like you were in the gardens and in the jungle and you know, completely gave me that feeling of camping. When I was a kid, I would take the food from our house and go eat in the backyard, right? It really gave that kind of a separation from reality, how far away you put your dining table away from the main house. I think that's one thing that we do in luxury. We try to put the dining table pretty close to the kitchen, just outside of the kitchen. As to if you have enough land and you have beautiful landscaping, if you can have that, but you can also have a separate dining table much farther out in your lot to set a setting and tell a completely different story. It's a totally different experience than dining next to the house when you don't see the house. And this definitely delivers on that like 100%.
This extraordinary property offers a variety of viewpoints and lounge areas, such as this one. And thanks to its close proximity to the water, you can truly embrace the beauty of 𝗕𝗂𝗃𝗵𝗴, surrounded by the macchia mediterranea with the intense greenery given by the juniper trees.
Okay, I'm gonna give the lot quality a 9.5. The only reason it's not a 10 is that I just don't see that much flat land right next to the property itself. So you don't really have a spot for a volleyball court. You don't really have a spot for the playing soccer. You don't really have that. In the ultra luxury, it would be nice to have that, and also these rolling hills, right? So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 9.5. While we're at it, let's talk about lot utilization, right? How comfortably the house sits on the lot. This is a 10. I mean, you can't even see the road. You can't even tell which side is the backyard, really. The property super comfortably sits on the lot. It's a 10.
The garden provides a variety of paths that you can enjoy all year round and take leisurely walks also during the warmer months, thanks to the shade provided by the many trees. This is definitely the ideal home for those who are looking for complete privacy.
Okay, let's talk about privacy. That's another one of the 10 principles of quality. I would give it an 8. And you're like, Arvin, this is super, super private. Like, it's beautiful. It is, except they're not showing you the huge hotel right next to you. There's a humongous hotel, literally your neighbor. And that's just not ideal. You don't want to be next to a commercial building. Now, if you want to learn about these 5 principles of quality, I have a link in the description. I run a 5-day workshop every other month that I teach you guys the first 3 days what these 10 principles are and what are the criteria that each one of these scores to how to score for a property you're about to buy, renovate, or even the plans that you have to renovate the property. How would it look like in the future? What score would it have in the future, right? I teach that the first 3 days, and then last 4th and 5th day, I go over the avatars that are attracted to different characteristics and how much you're willing to pay. Is really like the fundamentals of real estate that they should really teach everyone in school, and nobody's ever taught you, right? That's why there's so many people who make mistakes. There's a 100% money back guarantee. Click on the link in the description, check it out. I would love to see you guys there.
Check it out. We are now on the path heading to the first private beach access that the property has to offer, which is only one of the many features that makes this property absolutely exclusive.
Okay, that's a solid elevation drop. Really cool that if you do have a private beach access, I just doubt like you could stop people from rolling in with a boat, or the hotel guests from this other beach rolling in, swimming over to your beach. I don't think it's really yours, but the way that, the hill carves it out, it will be hard for other people to come in. So I doubt in Italy they will allow you to actually own the sand on the beach, right? So I just think it's set up in a way that it's private to you, but other people can also use it.
And here we are. Isn't this just beautiful? We are now at the first of 2 beaches to which the property has a private access.
Like, to me, that's not a nice beach in Sardinia, because there's ridiculously beautiful beaches in Sardinia, and that one just was not one of them.
We are back on the path, walking through the garden and heading towards the villa. Among the many features that this magical garden has to offer, we also find this lovely koi pond that just adds to the relaxation of the ambiance. Surrounded by the stunning nature is the hot tub area with shower.
That's cool. I mean, the shower looks really, third world. Overall, I just think the lot has a lot of potential. I think as far as I would have liked to see hammocks, day beds, tree houses. There's a lot you can do with this lot to just take it to another level and create many different nooks and areas where kids could play, adults could hang out. So it actually has a lot of upside, I would say.
I like how the owners created an oasis vibe with the sand on the ground and the typical rock formation that surrounds the hot tub. From here, we can enjoy the most amazing view over the surrounding nature and over the sea. And just think of the golden hour and of the sunsets that you can see during the evenings.
Okay. So it's a west-facing property, but this property sits on a promontory. So considering you don't have any neighbors, you might be facing the west when you walk in through the door, but other parts of the property are east-facing, south-facing, north-facing. So when you have that much separation and you're sitting on 1.6 hectares of land, as long as there are no trees and elements blocking you or mountain or rocks, I think you guys should be able to get a lot of natural light inside the property. I don't think it really matters for lot orientation over here, so I'm still going to give it a 10.
The perfectly trimmed garden continues also here, and we still have that peaceful and magical sensation. Thanks to the many trees, there's a lot of shade, so also on the hottest summer days, you can truly enjoy the garden. From here, we have access to the property's parking area with garage.
Okay, I didn't see a motor court. I wonder if you can drive all the way up to the front of the house, if there is a motor court and that frontage, or you have to take stairs to get to the front of the house.
Before we enter the main villa, I just want to point out that to my right is the property's dépendance.
Dépendance. Much better way of saying guest house.
Which is completely independent, so it's perfect for hosting your guests and family. The dépendance features a living and dining area with kitchen.
That kitchen did not look good. That was not up to par.
And its own private terrace.
Okay, so you really don't have that motor court. It kind of kills the whole idea of the private driveway, right? I mean, it would be nice to have that private driveway coming to the front, drop off for groceries, guests. That's a lot more convenient, right? Right now, that whole experience of coming to the property in a majestic way and being presented the property in that unique way is kind of gone. It kills the vibe a bit, right? And you have to take the stairs and walk and then enter the property.
This stunning property has a double access. Right now, we are on the path leading us towards the main villa. So let's go check it out.
Okay, before we check it out, architecturally, I would say it's really kind of a village vibe building. It's not grand whatsoever, and I'm totally fine with it, by the way. You don't have to be grand and luxurious. You can do like authentic, like a village building in Sardinia the right way and make it really special by not making it luxurious, but making it special in a very authentic way. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm not disappointed whatsoever. I'm just expecting for them to deliver that architectural style in the interior and give me that whole, I'm in a, 100-year-old structure in Sardinia that's always been there.
We are now in the main villa, which is home to 5 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms. This entrance divides the property perfectly into 2 distinct areas. Over here, the property opens up into this spacious and gorgeous living area.
Okay, that's not spacious at all. Okay, I'm a little bit disappointed. First, let me tell you what I like about it. I like the fact that right after you enter the property, you get a glimpse of the view. It teases you. It tells you like you've come a long way from the airport. You're coming in. You want to be like, okay, I'm at the right place, right villa. I rented the right one or bought the right property. But what's really disappointing is the scale and the fact that they didn't try to at least take advantage of the lower height ceiling by making it cozy. If you're going for this cabin, rustic village house that has always been there, you should have done exposed ceilings, right? And these generic tiles that you see in a lot of other properties, not cutting it for me. Again, as far as material goes for finishes on the interior, I was expecting a little bit of a continuation of that beautiful rock that we're seeing on the outside. Architecturally, I'm going to score this property as a 6.5. Just because I don't think they made much mistakes as far as like they didn't take much risk with it, but they didn't really try it also to make it this like an authentic cabin, that village house that always existed in Sardinia, which I would have paid a lot more for, or I would have advised one of my clients to pay more for, because I would have thought like this is the Sardinian experience, right? It looks more like a newer built home. And if it was a newer built home, I was expecting a higher ceiling, a better finishes on the inside. But for the rustic feel, I want it to feel real.
If we look carefully, this is actually a tree trunk that has been softened from the movement of the sea, which I find perfectly fitting for this property.
Okay, now I'm noticing a lot of stairs. This is, again, not ideal. That tells me they didn't really grade their property before building this property. And then it tells me, was it an older building? Was always there? So they had extensions they added on to the property. So again, it's kind of a negative and a negative right after each other. There's stairs coming up, then stairs going down to this room. I'm starting to question that, could this be a teardown at this point for this lot? Because the lot so far, 1.6 hectare, promontory with, 180 degree views or 270 degree views with beach access, you could do something special here.
The dining area is perfectly connected on a slightly lower level to a second and smaller dining area for more informal meals.
Yeah, no one's gonna ever eat here. This could be a bedroom, like a guest bedroom, but I don't see why anyone would want to eat in this dining room. This is horrible. There's no character. This could be anywhere. This could be in Rome. It could be a room in Rome or any other city in Italy. It does not in any way gives me, Sardinian vibe. Not from the curtains, not from the artwork, not from the tiles, and just very depressing place to eat.
And the property's kitchen, which has access to 2 external dining areas.
Mamma mia. Stephanie, what are you doing to us? At least you got the beams, but this is a horrible kitchen for the property. Oh, are you serious? This is Italy, guys. Come on. I wasn't expecting an open kitchen, but this is smaller than a galley kitchen on a boat. This is horrible.
Adjacent to the dining area is this cozy lounge area, which looks right onto this gorgeous window that frames a perfectly kept cactus garden. The whole space is embellished by a corner fireplace, and we have lovely cotto floors. However, the true focus and centerpiece of this whole room is this extensive French window that looks onto the most beautiful and gorgeous view over the sea.
I give the view a 9, okay? Just because I'm hoping this is not the only view. It's going to be panoramic from different angles. You have islands that you look at, or the coastline of the other side of this bay. However, the layout of this house, I'm going to give it a 4 because it seems like it's going to be room to room to room to room. And as far as scale and volume goes, it's a 3. It really is a 3. Now, it doesn't need to have a large score there, right? If it's an authentic vacation home, right? But that living room they just showed us, you can't even entertain there. You better have another living room because that's really, really small for even 5 bedrooms for the main house, let alone the guest house. So far, I'm looking at this and I'm like, this could be a teardown for the lot because the lot is fantastic.
One thing that I love about this property is that mixed in with the perfectly trimmed garden are those touches of uncontaminated nature so typical of this island, such as the large rock formations which are all around the property.
You see this? Like there's elements of beauty and architecture that teased me that I thought they would continue that on the inside, okay? These wood beams on the outside, I 100% expected those on the ceilings on the inside. The beautiful stonework over here should have been continued on the inside. And then, it would have looked like that authentic, old house in Sardinia, which I think it actually is. But by modernizing it, they've washed it out. They've taken the character out of it. When I think someone who has all the money in the world, when they come to Sardinia, you could give them an excuse to say, look, here's how people lived 100 years ago in Sardinia, and they will love it. They will pay extra for it, right? Because it's such a juxtaposition as to what their actually living conditions are in New York or Milan or Rome or Paris or London. So it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that they didn't allocate the spaces enough. They didn't set up the right size rooms for the kitchen and the family room, because architecturally speaking, if you want to keep this, your even windows on the second floor, which I would assume your primary suite would be, they're not even big enough to really capture this gorgeous views, which I scored really highly.
Right past the patio, we have a cozy sunbathing area, and right behind it is a lounge area with viewpoint.
Look, there's a fire. No, that's not good. I wonder what fire insurance is over there. Because in California, you can't get one right now in Los Angeles.
We are now back inside the property and heading towards the entrance, where we find the bedroom area. The beautiful cotto floors continue also in this part of the house, which is developed on 2 levels and counts a total of 5 bedrooms, each with their own ensuite bathroom. We are now on the lower level that counts 4 bedrooms. To my right is the first queen-size bedroom.
That doesn't get any ocean views. You get cactus views. Dude, this is Stephanie. We didn't come to Sardinia to, look at Palm Spring in California. And the decor is just... Look at those curtains. This property needs a lot of help.
On the opposite side of the hallway, it has access onto a cozy lounge area, which also provides light to the hallway.
Why didn't you continue this beautiful stone on the inside? Why? Like this is outside stone and then you're not allowed to bring it in? Come on, this is beautiful. This is what you had to do. You had to continue the stone on the inside.
Continuing along the hallway is the second bedroom.
And another sets of stairs coming up. Dude, this is an old house. This lot was never graded. I really don't think it was great. I'm heavily leaning towards a tear down here.
We are in the second queen size bedroom, which also has its own ensuite bathroom with shower, with the most lovely deep blue tiles.
Lovely for who, Stephanie? Not for me. Stephanie, this is not what I was expecting. I wanted an authentic Sardinian freaking town house from 100 years ago, and you gave me a 1970s tiles, horribly executed.
The room is filled with natural light, thanks to the French window from which we can access a cozy terrace.
Stephanie, I like plants. I just don't like them to hug me and block my view. Again, as far as lot utilization, natural light coming in, beautiful. And it was predicted this. I kind of saw this coming. This property is lit. Again, great lot. You can already tell this is a really, really good lot. And the house is probably in the right location on the lot where it's at the top of the hill, you get in. But first of all, the landscaping is blocking your view from a lot of directions. You have not even got a single bedroom with an ocean view yet. And even your living room has partial ocean view. No bueno. Not good. Not good at all.
Continuing along the hallway, we have the staircase that leads us up to the second floor where we will find the master bedroom that we will see in a moment. And adjacent is a third bathroom with shower.
Wow. Slightly lighter blue color tiles. Very, very innovative. This is horrible. This is really poor finishes. At this point, I'm going to score the finishes. And I think it's the last thing I have not yet scored. I give the finishes in this house a 2 out of 10. I mean, it's borderline livable. It's horrible. I mean, it's livable. Like you can actually stay. It's not disgusting. It's clean. But just someone who would have that much money to pay for a property like this, they expect way better finishes than this. Because this property is not going to be cheap. It's going to be very, very expensive. Sardinia is not a cheap island. It's probably one of the most expensive islands in all of Europe, if not the most expensive. So someone who has the money to purchase this is looking at this is like, this reminds me when I had no money, right? They don't like to think about the time when they had no money. At least if they do, they want an authentic Sardinian village vibe, like how their grandmas had no money. They would go for that. But not when they had no money. That's not good.
Which is dedicated to the third double bedroom with access onto an external patio.
Again, that bedroom also didn't have any ocean views.
At the end of the hallway is the fourth and last bedroom on this floor. This queen bedroom has a double exposure, which offers a lot of natural light, but also the most wonderful view over the garden.
Oh my God, another garden view. Okay, let's talk about the flat areas of the land because I actually like this area. I love the fact that it opens up to a backyard. You still have some lawn. This is good because this is, again, it's on top of a hill. There's a topography to it. There's a slope to it, but there's some pockets of flat grass area. I like that. So far, so good. But the fact that only one bedroom, I'm assuming the primary bedroom upstairs is the only one that is going to get ocean view for a property of this scale with 1.6 hectares of land is extremely disappointing.
This upper floor is dedicated to the master suite. On this first part of the floor that can be closed off thanks to a door, we have his and her walk-in closets, each with its own bathroom with shower.
Wait a minute, you have to go walk through the walk-in closets to get to the main room? That's a negative. I think I'm going to rescore the layout. I don't remember what I gave it to. The layout of this house, I'm going to give it a 4. But I think the layout is probably a 2. It's a horrible layout. I mean, the only good thing that I liked about the layout was that when you walked into your right, you could see the view. But so far, the layout is absolutely garbage. So many stairs. There's no other secondary bedrooms next to the primary. So if someone has young kids, forget about it. Like, you kiss your kids goodbye, like done. They wake up in the middle of the night, just put the earplugs and you're not picking that baby up. It's going to wait till the morning. Horrible. Horrible. And again, the worst tile colors I've ever seen. Oh my, at least it has a bidet. That's okay.
The actual suite has its own ensuite bathroom and the master bedroom. Also on this floor of the house, we have these lovely cotta floors. The master bedroom has full exposure on 3 sides of the room. And from each window, we have the most breathtaking view over the surrounding landscape.
That's a partial view at best. Stephanie, this looks like an ocean view property when it doesn't have any ocean views. What is this? This is a tear down, 100%. This house for this lot, for sure, it's a tear down. Your approach was bad. I mean, you can't even drive to the front of the house. You have to walk. Architecturally, it was not significant. On the outside, I'm fine with it if you're going for the old historic. But then on the inside, you had no layout. You had horrible bedroom distribution. You didn't have any finishes that matched the architectural style. You didn't have enough space for the property to where you can congregate, at least like 4 or 5 families congregate in one area. The kitchen was smaller than a dormitory college kitchen. What kind of a vacation is this? I will go to Tijuana if I want to go vacation. This is... This is embarrassing. This is horrible. This is Sardinia. Come on. You need to step it up. This house is definitely below par. Now, if you want to learn what these each score's elements mean within this 10 principles of quality, like what makes a 10 out of 10 for a location, what's a 7 lot utilization, what's a 4 lot utilization, why would I give a property like this privacy score is an 8, what are the elements in the privacy score that affects its score, okay? This is how you can have an objective point of view when you purchase, remodel, design a property. Because no one's going to tell you this. Your real estate agents will never tell you this, because if you don't buy it, you're not going to transact, and they will lose their commission. Your architect doesn't even know this stuff. It just knows how to make properties that would look good on their website, right? And they wait for you to make mistakes and redesign and charge you more. And contractors don't like anything more than change orders, okay? You have yourself, okay? You're on your own. You need to learn how to objectively analyze in a systematic way, analyze residential properties, because I'll promise you're going to buy properties, you're going to sell properties for the rest of your life, right? And 80% of people in America, their net worth is tied to their primary residence they live in when they retire. So this is probably the most important thing you can do for yourself financially, and the bragging rights of living in beautiful homes. So the link is in the description. Now, if you want to see a property that I actually like, click on this video. Thanks for watching. Buonasera and arrivederci.